It was supposed to be perfect. My third wedding anniversary with Ethan. A garden party I'd spent 6 months orchestrating in our cozy Lexington, Kentucky backyard. I'm Lauren Hayes, 29. And I'd poured my heart into every detail. Catering, fairy lights, peonies blooming in soft pinks and whites as centerpieces. 30 of our nearest and dearest were set to raise a glass to our love. Our life. But perfection? That dream was slipping through my fingers, thanks to one relentless thorn in my side. My mother-in-law, Margaret Pierce. Margaret swept in hours early. Her version of help, a masterclass in unsolicited critique. Peonies, Lauren, she sighed, tracing a petal with a manicured nail. They'll droop by dinner. I told Ethan orchids would have been smarter. I clutched my clipboard, forcing a smile. They're my favorite in their fresh peak season. Her lips pursed. Well, it's your party. Though I still say the country club beats this backyard. She waved a hand like she was shooing a fly. We wanted intimate, I shot back, something that feels like us. Her eyes narrowed, a glint of judgment flickering. Yes. You've always had peculiar tastes. 6 months of planning, and Margaret was my personal storm cloud. She'd been at it since dawn, dismissing my menu, rearranging my vision. Odd you didn't ask me about the food, she said, flipping through my notes. Ethan adores my beef Wellington. Begged for it every birthday. I'd explained 3 times now that the caterer specialized in local flavors, that Ethan had greenlit every choice. She flicked her wrist. He's too agreeable. Hates a fight. Lets you call all the shots. I glanced at my watch. 2 hours until guests arrived. I need to set up the bar and take my meds, I muttered, escaping her orbit. Oh yes, your condition. She called after me, her tone dripping with doubt. Such a weight on Ethan. My patience frayed as I stormed inside. In the kitchen, I grabbed my prescription bottle vital for my autoimmune disease. A lifeline on a day this stressful. I shook it. Something was off. The rattle was too light, too full. Popping it open, I froze. Round white pills stared back. Not my oval tablets. Sugar pills. My stomach sank. Someone had swapped them. And only one person had been prowling my house all day, Margaret, who'd always seen my illness as a flaw, a stain on her perfect son's life. Ethan and I met 4 years ago at a fundraiser, me wrangling logistics, him pitching his architectural firm. Bourbon and historic preservation bonded us, and within 3 months, we were a unit. A year later, we tied the knot at a vineyard intimate in hours. Margaret hated it from day one. She'd pegged me against her ideal. A pediatric surgeon, daughter of her bridge buddy Claire Montague. My event planning gig? Glorified party throwing, she'd sneered once, loud enough for me to hear. When Ethan proposed, her sabotage kicked into gear, hinting I faked my illness. Accidentally, slipping shellfish into dishes despite my allergy, waxing nostalgic about Ethan's exes. We built our life anyway, renovated a historic Chevy Chase home, blended our styles. Margaret trashed it all. Paint too bold, furniture too modern. The Pierce family values tradition, she'd huff. Ethan brushed it off as her quirks, promising she'd warm up. 3 years in. I was still waiting. For this party, I tried appeasing her, her favorite lilies in the guest bath, her preferred bourbon at the bar, a prime garden view table. I'd even invited her early. A peace offering. Now staring at those sugar pills, I saw the truth. She wasn't here to help. She was here to ruin me. I dug through my purse for my emergency meds, swallowing a dose as my mind raced. Confront her? Tell Ethan? Scrap the night? No, canceling would hand her the win. The party would go on. But I'd be watching her every move. I slipped into my emerald dress, pinned my auburn hair, and forced a smile in the mirror. Downstairs, the caterers buzzed, lights twinkled, the garden glowed. Perfect, almost. Margaret was in the dining area, shuffling my place cards. I moved the Thompsons closer, she said, not looking up. They're practically family, not like those work friends you insisted on. Ethan and I plan the seating, I replied, voice steady. She smirked. He won't mind. He always liked Emily Thompson, dated her in high school, you know. I knew. She reminded me monthly. I found something odd earlier, I said, testing her. Someone swapped my meds for sugar pills. A flush crept up her neck, but her face stayed stone. How careless of you to mix them up. I didn't. They were switched on purpose. She met my gaze cold as ice. That's a bold claim, Lauren. Maybe your condition clouds your head. Autoimmune issues can, you know. Her cruelty hit like a slap. This wasn't just sniping, it was war. Why do you despise me? I blurted. Her smile tightened. Despise? I just see you're wrong for Ethan. He'll realize it too. We've been happy for 3 years. 3 years is a blip, she scoffed. He needs someone who elevates him, not burdens him with health drama and silly jobs. She turned back to the cards, muttering, maybe you'll finally leave him. The words chilled me. This wasn't about tonight. She wanted me gone, marriage wrecked, health shattered. Ethan's voice cut through. Flourish dropped more greenery, where's it go? Margaret's tone flipped to syrup. Kitchen, darling. It's all stunning. Her eyes flicked to me. This isn't over. But I was done playing nice. As Ethan headed outside, I rifled through Margaret's purse in the guest bath. There my real pills tucked away. I snapped a photo, replaced them, and rejoined the chaos, evidence in hand. Guests trickled in at 7. Laughter filling the air. I played hostess, tracking Margaret as she charmed Ethan's colleagues by the koi pond, editing me out of his story. She cornered me later in the kitchen. Noticed you took your meds after all. Lucky you had spares. Always do, I said coolly. For my serious condition. She smirked. Convenient how it never stops your party planning or attention grabbing. Before I could fire back, she added, if it's too much, I'll host. No one would blame you for bowing out. A power grab. Veiled as kindness. I'm fine, I said, smiling tightly. Thanks though. Dinner hummed along, praise raining down on the food. I almost relaxed until I saw Margaret at the bar. Whispering to the bartender. He fetched her special champagne. A Dom Perignon she'd insisted on, marked with blue tape. Suspicion flared. I intercepted. I'll handle that, I told him. Taking the bottle. Alone. I swapped it with an identical one from our stash. If I was wrong, no harm. If I was right. I returned both bottles, rejoining the table as Margaret watched me, raising her glass in a mock toast. Ethan kicked off the toasts. To my amazing wife, 3 years is just the start. Guest sipped. Margaret drank deeply, checking her tape. Then chaos. Ethan's buddy Jack bolted, clutching his stomach. 2 others followed, all from the regular champagne, not hers. Her plan backfired, she'd spiked the main batch, expecting me to flail as guests fell ill. Instead, it hit her clique first. She sipped again, puzzled when nothing happened to her. Realization hit. She'd rigged the regular champagne, not hers. Had she spiked her bottle too, just for me? Her glare burned as I tended to the sick, blaming food sensitivity. Then I acted. Pour Mrs. Pierce a glass from her special bottle. I told the bartender. She says the other's off. I delivered it myself. Thought you'd enjoy this, your vintage. Her eyes gleamed. How kind. Perfect for a refined palate. We toasted. She drank. Minutes later, she squirmed, then bolted, panic flashing. Ethan frowned. Mom, okay. Bathroom break, I lied. She locked herself upstairs. You all right? I called. Go away, she croaked. Need a doctor? Something you drank. The door cracked open, her face ashen. You knew. You switched them. Tampering's dangerous, Margaret, I said calmly. This ends now. I've got proof, your purse, the pills, photos. Try this again and Ethan knows everything. She glared, but her body betrayed her, slamming the door. The night sparkled on without her. Cake cut, dances danced. She emerged later. Disheveled, accusing me as guests lingered. You did this. Did what? I asked, voice sweet. Marked your bottle? Spiked the regular one? She faltered, trapped. Ethan pressed, Mom, what's up? Nothing, she muttered. I'm unwell. She left soon after, stiffly declining to stay. I gathered more proof, camera footage of her at the bar, locked it away as insurance. Ethan returned from driving her home. She's done with your events, he said. I smiled. We've reached an understanding. Holidays passed without her. Thanksgiving skipped, Christmas in Europe. Pinning her note to our board, I grinned. Sometimes victory isn't one battle, it's rewriting the war. Our future? Peaceful, perfect, Margaret free. Just as I planned.